Hi everyone, welcome to Latinas Uprising. This is a space for Latinas to talk about how to get to law school, through law school, and how to establish a successful career as a new attorney. I am Nubia, and today I'm here to talk to you about quitting law school. So, first things first, I don't want anyone to quit law school. I want you to stay. I want you to get your JD. I want you to be an attorney because I know the power that this degree holds and the types of careers that you can create with this education. So that's the first thing. But I also know that many of you are home from break, have just survived final season, maybe had a really tough semester, maybe it was your first semester, and law school is not exactly what you had envisioned, or it was a lot more difficult, and you are just sitting at home thinking, I actually hate it. I don't like the people, I don't like what I'm studying, and maybe I should just quit. But before you do that, I don't want you to make any decisions based on fear or anger or disappointment. I think it's really important to dive into the reasons why you hate law school and figure out whether that's going to be true when you're a lawyer, because law school and lawyering are two different things. And if you can put up with those 3 years, as horrible as they are, you're able to then really have access to a career that you can grow and be successful in ways that you can't with many other degrees. And that's why I'm a big stickler about really thinking about what is it that you dislike about law school. Is it something that you can change before making this decision about leaving? Because lawyering and law school are just completely different. I want to add that when I was in law school, I really didn't like it either. I found it really difficult. I found it difficult to connect with people. I felt really out of sorts, out of place. My grades were not great. I didn't do a lot of the things I was hoping to do. But I kept moving forward because I knew that this was the only way for me to be able to get a law license and be an attorney. And as an attorney, I love it. I love all the aspects of lawyering. I love the back and forth. I love even most of my clients. Like, I really have enjoyed practicing. And so for me, as bad as those 3 years were, it was worth it. And as more time has, grown between me and my time in school, there are some things I look back fondly and realize, like, some things weren't as bad as they seem, but in the midst of it, you're in this law school bubble. It's just a lot. And so I totally get that feeling of thinking, like, deuces, I'm out. But before you do that, let's think about why you hate law school. So if the first thing is that you don't like the people, totally get it. It is so difficult to be around people who are very privileged, people who don't think before they speak, people who are straight up racist, classist, sexist. That happens a lot. And I know that a lot of us especially get comments that are just completely out of place, and a lot of schools are not set up or don't care enough to address them appropriately. And so it can be really difficult to be in a space where you are constantly pleading your humanity with people who are supposed to be your colleagues, who are supposed to be your peers, and it sucks. I totally get that. But if you want to quit law school simply because you don't like the people, even if they make you kind of feel cruddy, I would challenge you to think about ways that you can either grow your support circle so that you aren't constantly around assholes so toxic that you really can't stand it. Is there an opportunity for you to transfer to a different school so that you can be in a different environment? Or is the situation bad, but after next year, when you get to select your classes, when you aren't in your section, when you can try new things and new courses that you're interested in, will things be a little bit better? Or maybe you're in a situation where it's not the people, that you like them enough, you've made friends, you're able to really get through it, but you don't like the law, you don't like the system, you don't like what you're studying, you don't like this idea of having to maybe put your principles to the side to represent someone that you would never dare represent. And if that's your situation, what I'm going to encourage you is to really expand your circle and look for internship opportunities where you're exposed to more attorneys and you get to see the type of work that they get to do. And the reality is that most of us get to choose the type of client and cases that we want to represent. No one is forcing us to take on cases that are against our values, that are against our ideologies. If you're doing the work as an attorney, it's because you want to, for the most part. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't clients where I disagree with the things that they had done, that they did things I would never do, the clients that didn't like me, or there were clients that I did not enjoy. Of course, that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, the larger work that I was getting to do was was what I enjoyed as an attorney, which was immigration law. Most attorneys do have autonomy to be able to really kind of mold the type of practice they want to do. So if you are concerned about the fact that you're in class right now and you're focusing on something you're not super interested in, like torts, and that the cases that you're reading seem really clinical and academic and there isn't a lot of humanity in it, I can assure you that law school is different than practicing. And all of those things that you're learning your first year, integral to your foundation as an attorney, are not something you're going to encounter often when you are actually out there practicing. You are going to get to hone and sharpen and clarify the type of work that you get to do. So if you are thinking of quitting simply because first year seems so detached from what you want to do, I would really encourage you to give it another shot and wait until your first summer so that you actually get more exposure to what lawyering is like, because it's so different from law school. Maybe you have made friends, maybe you're okay with the process of law school itself, but it's really you. You are questioning your intellect, you are questioning your right to be there, you don't feel welcome, or you are second year in and you have tried out for moot court or journal or a clinic and you just don't seem to be able to ever really get what you want to get out of law school. Should you quit? In that situation, I'm going to encourage you to eat a big piece of humble pie. I normally do not encourage people to be humble, especially not in law school, but I do think that there is a moment in most of our careers within law school where we realize that we're not the smartest person in the room anymore, where there is a struggle to achieve even average success. And it can be really disheartening, it can really be difficult, and it can be a blow to our confidence. And I'm not saying that that's healthy, that law school does that, but it is a common situation. And if you are going to cut and run simply because you are facing a challenge that is difficult, no, don't. Yes, it's difficult, and maybe your school's not supporting you the way they should be, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't continue to put in the effort to achieve your goal. And the ultimate goal is not getting Cali awards, it's not getting on moot court, it's not becoming a fellow, it's getting your JD, because your JD leads you to the bar exam, and the bar exam gets you your license. That is the goal. So it doesn't matter after a year after your first job, it won't matter all the accolades you had in law school. Like, they will be cool, there'll be things that you can talk about, but that's not gonna matter in the big picture of your career. So simply because you're not able to achieve law school success doesn't mean you won't be able to be a successful lawyer. And so just because you're feeling crummy, or you're like, this isn't me, I'm not getting straight A's, I'm not the smartest kid in the room, okay, so what? Because the reality is that even if you're not the shiniest or brightest star, you have the intelligence and the perseverance and the ability to navigate a system that was made purposefully to exclude you. So yeah, you're not always going to be the number one in every single situation that you're in. And I would caution against leaving law school if that's the main reason why you want to quit. I know I've been using a lot of statements that maybe feel like I'm judging a decision. I don't mean it in that way. If you decide to leave, that's a decision, and you will end up in a different trajectory than if you would have stayed, and it won't be good or bad. You will be in a different career that won't be good or bad. That's just the reality of life, right? We have to make decisions. But I know that being home or just being away from the school setting really allows you to get into your thoughts. And if you have had a rough semester, it might seem really appealing to say, this isn't for me, so I'm quitting. And I want you to not make decisions in the spur of the moment. I don't want you to make decisions in a time where you're still really stressed. And I don't want you to make decisions based on this idea that you're not capable or good enough, because I know that you are. So if you are having these negative feelings and thoughts, I want you to take a moment, take a beat, think about what it is that you really don't like about school, and see if there's a way to overcome it, because there's almost always that opportunity. And if you have questions, feel free to message me. I'm so happy to talk about these things with folks. Please make sure that you follow this channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you are also following me on other platforms, including latinasuprising.com. Feel free to shoot me an email there. I'm, again, really happy to chat about it, because this is a big decision that I don't want you to make based on some situation that in a few months won't really even matter anymore. So I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.